Hello, and welcome back for page 3 of the Geometry C semester exam review. This video will cover questions 11 through 13, and that actually includes both number 11s because it looks like I made a mistake numbering, so I apologize for that. Our first number 11, you have to be really careful with this one and pay attention to what it's asking you to do. It's asking for the measure of angle LMQ. So that means we're going from L all the way to M and then all the way up to Q. Okay, it's that really wide obtuse angle that you're trying to find the measure of. Now you know part of it is 90. What we need to know is this piece right here. Okay, in order to answer the question correctly, I need to know what that piece is equal to. Okay? Now some of you are probably looking at that and saying, gosh, I just don't know. I don't have any information about that angle. But you do know that you have a straight line here. And hopefully you know that a straight line is 180 degrees. Well, if it's 180 degrees total, and here I have 90 and here I have 22, we should be able to figure out what's left over for this angle. So here's how I'm going to start this. I'm going to start by finding this angle, LMP. And in order to do that, I'm going to take 180 and subtract off that 90 and subtract off that 22. You could also add together the 90 and the 22 first and then just subtract that whole number from 180. That would work too. So let's see here. Looks like when I subtract that out, I end up with 68 degrees. So that means this angle here is 68 degrees. Whoops. I have my feline friend joining us. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so 68 degrees right here. Now I want to go back and think about what the question was actually asking me for. The question was asking me for angle LMQ. That's this whole thing. So what I need to do is combine this 68 with this 90 to get that whole measurement. So to find LMQ, I am going to add 68 to 90, and that leaves me with 158 degrees. And that would be your final answer for LMQ, which is what the question was asking for. Now, if you wanted to double check, take that 158 and add it to this 22. And that better make 180 degrees because then you will have a full line. And a straight line is 180 degrees. Okay? And in this case it does. But that's just a good way to check out your work. Okay. So on this next one, the next 3 questions are all based on this same diagram. And there's one very important piece of information given to you here. And that is this, that R is the midpoint of this segment. R is the midpoint of segment MT. So I want you to think for a second about what midpoint means. Midpoint means that it is dividing the line exactly in half. So this point cuts this segment into 2 equal pieces. That means I know this has to equal this. Okay? So when I'm trying to find the value of x for number 11 here, I'm going to start by setting those 2 things equal to each other. 2x plus 2 has to equal 3x minus 10. Because, like I said, it is a midpoint, and if I know it's a midpoint, I know that the 2 segments are equal. Okay? From here, there's a couple of different ways you could solve it. I would probably start by subtracting 2x from each side. Like I said, though, if you did something differently, that would be okay. Okay, so here you'd end up with 2. 3x minus 2x is just 1x, which I could write as just an x. Remember that x and 1x are really the same thing. And then here we would have minus 10. And then I would take this 10 and move it to the other side by adding 10 to each side. So I end up here with a 12 equals x, and that cancels out. So that's my answer for this one. X is actually equal to 12. Okay? Now the next couple of questions ask me to go a little bit further. Question 12 wants to know the length of RT. So that's from here to here, and I'm given that it's 3x minus 10. Well, now that I know what x equals, I can go back and figure out what that actual length is by plugging the 12 in for x. So 3 times 12 minus 10, that's going to be 36 minus 10, which is 26. So the length of RT is 26. Now it wants me to go ahead and find the entire length from M to T. So in the last one we found that this was 26. And if you wanted to, you could go back and plug that 12 into this one as well. All right? What you should find though, because we knew this was a midpoint, you should find that both of these pieces are exactly equal. Let's double check just to make sure we're right. If I took that 12 and put it here, that would be 2 times 12, which is 24, and then 24 plus 2 is indeed 26. Okay? If you did that and found that your two pieces were not equal to each other, you would know that you made a mistake someplace. So if I want the entire distance, all I really have to do is add together 26 and 26, which is the same thing as doing 26 times 2, and that would give you a total length of 52. Okay, that does it for this video. Tomorrow we will pick up with page, I guess it would be page 4. All right, thanks a lot for watching.